So, welcome to another video. Yeah, just checking the timer working, and this is the second of my videos on the year 2017. We're going to now go into the top 10. The only issue really you need to consider is that it's 12 albums. Yeah, I couldn't squeeze them all in, so I basically decided, I'm going to cheat and call it the top 12. Okay, so we're going to go through these fairly quickly. More thorough explanation than with the previous video on honourable mentions, but hopefully not too long. Start with number 12. This is Salon Lágrimas y Deseo by Lila Downs. I'm not sure if my Spanish is up to it, but Lila Downs has always been a shining light in my appreciation of world music. I've got a number of her albums, and I also got a review of an album that she released at the turn of the millennium. And I'll put a link to that in the description. This is classical, traditional, original songs from the Mexican, South American border, Central American border. And on this one, Lila delivers a sort of feminist manifesto with forms ranging from kumbaya to danzón, rancheros to blues, son to banda and conjunto. We get an amalgam of Latin, funk, soul, blues, folk, world and country. So really everything you'd want from a world music from this part of the world, and her singing is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to dive into the track list now briefly. This new album then for 2017 starts off with Urge. Great sound here, the horns shine. It's a passionate confession of loneliness and raw pain that only love and affection can assuage. Track 2 is Palabras de Mundo, a bittersweet ballad, almost 30s like, with that salsa defined in the rhythm. Track 3 is Peligrosa, which in translation is called Dangerous, a paean to Las Adelitas, about female revolutionaries who dare to live as they wish, accepting the pain, tears and consequences that are sometimes the cost of freedom. There's a rock quartet and a full mariachi orchestra on this, and it delivers the song as a ranchero blues. Track 4 is Tus Mencas, a riotous erotic banda with accordion flourishes tied in with wayward punchy horns. And then we've got La Mentira, a jazz ballad by a mariachi band. Downs' vocals combines the phrasing of Dina Washington and Homero Portuanto, and there's some great trumpet on this. And I'm going to shoot forward now because it's getting a little bit overpowering. Track 8 is Piensa en Mí, a gorgeous slow salsa ballad. And then a couple of late tracks. Ser Palomo, on track 11, is a hybrid of tender ranchero and bittersweet indie rock. Its first verse translates into English as, "Not in my dreams, not at dawn. You do not command, you do not command. Not in my house and not in my life. You do not command." Carla Morrison guest, and Downs and Morrison's entwined voices are devastating against the percussion, muted trumpets and strings. And finally, a dip into track 13, Un Mundo Raro. This is a broken-hearted classic duet with Chilean singer-songwriter Mon Lafite, another artist that I absolutely adore. It underscores the album's true theme of women as dangerous when they take freedom as their mantle. So that's my take on the album by Lila Downs. Selection. And I've chosen Colours by Beck. This is his 13th album, and he'd been working on this set of songs since 2013. They're all well crafted, lack a little bit of emotional conviction. What have you got with Beck? Well, for those familiar with him, of course, electronic rock, dance pop, new wave, Uses a lot of loops, and it's always interesting sort of stuff. I'm going to go through some of the tracks, not many, it has to be said. I do like this album, but it falls away a bit. But track 4 is a good one, Dear Life. It's got a jaunty piano line punctuating existential woes. It's a bit Elliott Smith-like. Amidst this love song beckons in the latter stages with 10cc type pop bubblegum rhythm guitar, which acts as a bridge to the piano-driven song. And also there's a dab of arrangements that are added. To track 5, No Distraction, a Police-like, and I mean The Police, like reggae beat, which has been modernised, introduces this one. Another love song about choosing a partner via a cell phone. Yeah, he's always up to date, is young Bet, and it sidetracks away from socialisation thoughts. And then track 6, which is called Dreams, very spacey, great production, and it's free at least if you're sleeping. Again, the sonic vocals are in harmony and impactful. And then finally, the last track, Fix Me, lots of strings and horns here, which flood this melancholic song. In conclusion, if you love rhythm pop done by an expert, then you'll love Colours by Beck. It's best if you're of that inkling, but it will, this particular album I think is a bit of a bridge to his next project, and so keep listening because I'll be on to that one in a few years, well, weeks really. 10, and this is number 10. It's Songs of Experience by U2. I felt this was a bit of a return to form. 3 years on and 9 producers in the making, U2 unveil an album full of self-awareness, graffitas and humour, and enough great moments to forgive its clumsier touches. The opening track is Love Is All We Have Left, and I conjured up imagery of that baby crying on a doorstep. Dramatic vocal delivery by Bono, but it lacks a little bit of rhythm. Track 2, Lights of Home, the guitars rev up this one, and it's got a gospel-like chorus, and the edge is slow rock solo is very tasteful, and he also throws in some distorted slide guitar. Lyrics, Bono's near-death experience, which forced the delay on this album, are included here. And they obviously have sort of led to a bit of a rebirth in his writing, a reality check perhaps about, well, where the band started. And then track 4, Get Out of Your Own Way. The drums circle in the mix here, joining the vocals, and it greets Clayton's bass, which increases the pace. It's pretty classy stuff and feels like a long relieved exhalation of breath. Nice harmonies and a solid guitar solo, albeit brief. Nice chorus, and the lyrics, once again, love and broken hearts and how to heal them. The message is don't prevent yourself from moving forward in life after you have setbacks. And then track 5 is American Soul, definitely a strong highlight here. It has a lot of attitude, grunge combined with hard rock, fuzz-like guitar. There's a bit of rap in there, and it features a line by no less than Kendrick Lamar, talking about Trump and the changing political landscape, which seduces us via Lamar's spoken defiance. A rousing finish, which basically seduces you into Lamar's spoken defiance. Mullen beating the hell out of the drums. And it's a bit of a civil rights statement by Lamar and Bono. And here's a little excerpt. Blessed are the bullies, for one day they will have to stand up to themselves. Blessed are the liars, for the truth can be awkward. So that's my take then on this. Oh, and finally, sorry, I nearly forgot. Last 2 tracks. Summer of Love, a lazy psychedelic dip. Bono reminiscing 1967. There's some delicate edge guitar work. easy soft rock with neat strings. Again, lyrically it mentions Aleppo, bomb craters, and juxtaposed with West Coast summer of love, a reminding of what was a feeling of goodness in the world. And finally, 10, Landlady. It's an extended apology by Bono to his wife Ali Hussein, a debt of gratitude really, sang with emotional bonding. It's a beauty, and it's simply played with no extravagance. The strings are added and Bono's vocals are moving. It's a thank you for everything, warts and all, and the value of stability in a rock and roll lifestyle. Very genuine, and I love it. So that's number 10 then, U2, Songs of Everything. To number 9 now, and we've got Pure Comedy. This is by Father John Misty, that's his moniker. Of course, his real name is Josh Tillman, and he previously was in the band Fleet Foxes. He's been Father John Misty now for a number of years, and this album is very much a note on how he visualizes our planet, and he sees it very much as a doomed project. The population's disconnected and seems to be immune to horror. Rapid entertainment is the order of the day, and there's an overinflated sense of our own importance. Tillman's lyrical message is coupled with luscious melodies and comforting familiar sounds with its acoustic guitars and beautifully subtle orchestrations. It's still in the indie rock bag because he's a singer-songwriter and owes some similarities to Randy Newman. Tillman's cut back on the dramatic orchestral arrangements on this, less so than on his last one, I Love You Honey Bear. I'm going to just jaunt through a couple of the tracks. Opens with the title track. Wonderfully uplifting arrangements here indicate a theatrical orchestral Rama being played out. And then track 2 is Total Entertainment Forever Play. Tillman's lead vocals here would slot comfortably into any 70s singer-songwriter album. Note the explosive horns that are back in the mix. Third track, things it would have been helpful to know before the revolution. Very Phil Spector-ish this. And then there's a track 4, Ballad of a Dying Man. This is sauntering piano, nice background vocals, very choral-like, and there's 9 singers on this. And then I want to move forward to track 6, which is about Los Angeles. This is where Tillman and his female partner lived. 13 minutes, it's a standout. So references folk rock throughout, but the violins create a dark, melancholic picture. It's very sparse and very depressing, and I'm going to give you a taste of the lyric. A few things the songwriter needs: arrows of love, a mask of tragedy. But if you want ecstasy or birth control, just run a tap under the water's cold. Anything else you can get online. A creation myth or a 45. You're going to need one or the other to survive, where only the armed or the funny make it out alive. Yeah, a pretty depressing look at inner city turmoil. And he was there, as I say, with his loved one. There are a number of other tracks. I like Smoochie, which is a highlight on track 9. It's got a country feel to it. There's some tasty guitar work. Oh, not much of it is used on the album, really. But I suggest you check it out. It's probably a grower, this one. So there we have it. That's the album, Pure Comedy by Father John Misty, and it's at my number 9. Right, to 8 then. This is The Charlatans, and it's Different Days. Of course, The Charlatans are an English rock band formed in the West Midlands in 1988. So doing my maths there, this is the 29th year in their existence. Of course, they've had a lot of tragedy as they've gone through the years. And there's a full review of this album on my channel, link in the description. Of course, it's post John Brooks, their drummer, who died just before the last album, Modern Nature. This one, however, is the 13th, but it's definitely still very much stuck in their style of keyboard rock style songs, very Britpop-like, but the production is absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to go through a few of the tracks, opening up with Hey Sunrise, a nice acoustic piano intro, enchanting melodies and skippy beats, and a wall of arrangements in this opener. And then add in those spacey keyboards and synths, and you've got a lovely soul edge to the song. The chorus is delectable. Then moving on to track 2, Solemn Solutions. Here we get jerky, funky drum keyboard riffs and a hypnotic beat that lushes over Burgess's vocals. There are a few short tracks that are used as segues on the album, and Future Tense is one of them. It segues in from Different Days, which has a very skippy melody. I like track 5 though, Plastic Machinery, strong pop rhythms here, which are punchy and a great example of wonderful production. Burgess's impressive lead vocals are evident as the guitar squeezes out your focus on it. Features Johnny Marr on guitar, so that's always worth dipping into. I'd like to move on now to Over Again. Very much keyboards driven, and this is pretty addictive as well. The drum beat is very funky and there's lots of juicy percussion. Lyrically, it's about the magical feeling of love arriving, a theme that Burgess, the singer, returns to frequently. The Same House has a Caribbean feel to it, very uplifting. And then the final song, Spin It Out. This has Paul Weller guesting on piano, and he also co-wrote the song. There's walls of guitars on here, the harmonies think of a little bit Beach Boy-like. And it's a lyric again about those magical childhood memories. And all in all, a pretty good follow-up to Modern Nature. Not quite on that level, but it's still in my top 10, and it's different. I've forgotten the title of it. Different Days by the Charlatans. Get to number 7, and I recently listened to this again, and it went up my charts from outside the 10 to inside, and it's now being positioned at number 7. It's a deeper understanding by the war on drugs. It's 3 years post their debut, Lost in the Dream, explores the distinctive soundscapes and vastness and haunted psyche of that debut album. It's their 4th studio album, and of course this particular album won the Best Rock Album at the 60th Annual Grammy Awards. It's rock and indie, very much so, but it's really a powerful production on this record, and it really got to me. So I'm going to go through some of the tracks now, starting off with the second track, which is Pain. Effortless flow of indie rock here, with some wonderful rich fuzz guitar solos that actually shimmer. Sorry. Holding On is next. This has a glockenspiel on the bass propelled style tune. Strangest Thing is up next, 6 minutes 40. This track really encompasses floating spacey guitars and those vast arena sound banks. And let's move on to Thinking of a Place, a little bit more extended. This one is 11 minutes. Awesome centerpiece, I think, of the album. A guitar carnival with passion-filled vocals by Adam Grenduciel, who's their leader and creative genius. He writes the songs and is the leader of the band. Nice snippets of harmonica are also added here, which give it a little bit of a cowboy Wild West type mid-American feel. And then In Chains, which Chains, C-H-A-N-I-N-S, I love the vastness of the arrangements on this track as the band glide effortlessly over the polished rock finish. The band reflect with the musicians in total sync with each other. It's not that radical, but certainly the production is 5-star. And there's some more harmonica here at the latter part of this 7-minute song. So I could go on, but I'm going to cut that short. But it's enough for you to get on with, to get to listen to it. Great, great album. And it's by The War on Drugs, and it's called A Deeper Understanding. And it's at number 7.